We're back up to the top. This is the start of event number 44, the men's senior lightweight pair. In lane 2, closest to us, we have Ottawa, lane 3, St. Catharines, lane 4, Peterborough, lane 5, Ottawa, lane 6, Indianapolis, and lane 7 is the University of Western Ontario. This is a very exciting event for sure. Thinking back to last year, this was Josh King, the king of Henley. It was his third medal, his third gold last year in 2017. So let's see if his teammates from Ottawa can pull off a win as well.
Third of 4 last year, so really impressive showing for Josh King last year. We'll see. Does seem to be that this is a straight final, so it will not be seeded. It's drawn randomly. But so you might not see necessarily the winners out of lane 4, lane 5, lane 6, as we've typically seen over the course of the week. We'll see if John Hamilton and Alexander Kunkel, the Ottawa rowers in lane 5, see what they can do. Of course, someone to probably watch out for are the Balby brothers in lane 6 from Indianapolis. That's Alexander and Roderick. They finished first last year in the under-23 lightweight pair. Now they have likely turned 23 years old. They're not under 23 anymore. Racing, I think, for the first time in the men's senior lightweight pair. Really strong pedigree. As I said, they won the under 23 version of this event last year, and the year before they placed second in it. So really strong pedigree out of those two, but it does look to be perhaps the interior Ottawa crew, Robert Park and Michael Howard in lane 2, who's jumped out to the lead, but that, from the glare, I can't quite tell. That might also be St. Catharines, Jacob Giesbrick and Eric Buchanan.
This is exciting stuff. I know Rob Park has a lot of experience. I won't give away Rob's age, but Rob has a lot of experience in this event. He is a well-seasoned athlete, and it just goes to show he's got a lot of strength and a lot of training time to take away what could be a Henley Gold here.
But it does look to be lane 3, St. Catharines. Jacob and Eric crossing just with their bow ahead of University of Western Ontario, Alex Brandt and Kiefer Stevenson, followed by the Balby brothers out of Indianapolis, and then the rest of the field.
Jacob Giesbrick, Eric Buchanan doing a really excellent job of handling the conditions here. It is quite choppy, particularly in that first 500-meter stretch.
Yeah, Jacob Giesbrick, it's certainly not his first time down this course. He's just from kind of down the road in the South Niagara Rowing Club. That's his home club. He raced for the University of Toronto for a number of years through his undergraduate studies, raced for Canada at the World University Games a couple years ago in the lightweight men's double. He's not new to the St. Catharines Rowing Club. He is not new to this course. He knows exactly where he is. He knows what needs to be done. He knows the standard of racing, particularly in the lightweight and senior events here at Henley.
For sure, and Eric as well. Eric was Senior Oarsman of the Year, I believe, in 2017 for St. Catharines, so he's equally as strong a competitor.
So we'll see how the rest of this kind of unfolds with University of Western Ontario. Last won this event in 2015 and also in 2013 before that. Of course, those athletes have moved on, currently being raced by Alex Brandt and Kiefer Stevenson. And see what they can do, see if they can make it the third time in 5 years that University of Western Ontario takes home the senior lightweight men's pair.
There's a lot of Western athletes in this event, Brent. We are looking at, of course, the Western pair out there in lane 7. John Hamilton in lane 5 for Ottawa is the president of the University of Western Ontario executive. And as well, we have Zach Magasangela. I'm so terrible with his last name. Sorry, Zach. He also rows for Western.
All right, a lot of Western representation in this race, but it so far is St. Catharines. Jacob Giesbrick and Eric Buchanan have opened up their lead on Western, who is currently keeping their bow ahead of the Balby brothers out of Indianapolis. So we'll see what Jacob and Eric can do for the Cerise and Blue local team out of lane 3, St. Catharines Rowing Club.
Last year's winner, Josh King, took home an impressive 4 Henley Gold medals. This would have been his 3rd medal in 2017, as we mentioned. The trophy is called the John L. Murray Memorial Trophy. John Murray was a Kingston High School teacher and principal, and he served as secretary of the Canadian Association of Amateur Oarsmen for 47 years, between 1929 and 1976. He accepted entries. He made the draw. He collected entry fees. He assigned referees. He kept the results. He handed out plaques and medals. He compiled the points. He even made the PA announcements and answered the grandstand telephone. For his contribution to Canada, John received the Queen Elizabeth II Silver Jubilee Medal in 1977. And I know from working in a number of regattas this summer, to make sure that these regattas go off without a hitch, there's usually that one person that kind of pulls everything together. And in our regatta, it's Peter Scott, who celebrated his birthday on Monday. Happy birthday, Peter. And it really comes down to the volunteers, though. So we have a number of volunteers here on the island and at the grandstands, and even up on the course out at the start. So a big thank you to all the volunteers.
Sounds to me like we need a Peter Scott trophy.
We can work on that.
Okay, good to know.
St. Catharines still looking very strong. You can see Eric taking just a quick look out of the boat there and then right back in to follow Jacob Giesbrecht in stroke. There's a commanding lead, open water between the next 2 crews who are left fighting it out for second place there as they come into the last 500-meter stretch.
Yeah, it does look like in that 3rd 500-meter stretch that the Bowlby brothers out of Indianapolis, that's Roderick and Alexander, have moved through. They were about half a boat down on University Western Ontario, who's in lane 7. Indianapolis out of lane 6, now about a boat ahead, but still a couple of lengths of open water behind St. Catharines, who looked really smooth, strong, and stable, crossing that last kind of pylon marker of the 3rd 500, entering the final 500. Last quarter of this race does seem to be St. Catharines' race to lose.
This is exciting stuff. I know Jacob went through the whole speed orders process back in June, so he's no stranger to high performance racing. And I think to go back to your club after having an unsuccessful campaign at speed orders, he's really driven. I know Jacob's worked really hard this summer, and evidently Eric is a great partner for him in this senior men's lightweight pair.
Yeah, they're really giving it. They're not going to let Indianapolis, or they're going to try not to let Indianapolis close. You can just see the stroke seat Roderick from Indianapolis in lane 6. Take a look over. They're trying to gauge how much time is left, how much race is left, how much do we need to close in. It does seem to be a substantial gap. I don't know if they have enough race left where they can outsprint St. Catharines, who have just kind of cruised down. They've been nice and strong, stable, nice, clean course, and it does seem to be, oh no, and I might have jinxed it for St. Catharines. A little bit of a crab there.
Let's see what happens as we come through the line. They have a quick look out to make sure that they're still in their lane.
Does seem to be St. Catharines.
I think it's going to be tight, but it does look like St. Catharines.
Oh,
a big
I'm sure that's
congratulations.
quite the relief.
Great work to both Eric and Jacob. You can see Eric there recovering from a little bit of a crab, but nothing that kept them from the win. Big celebration from Jacob there.
That was really their race through the whole 2,000 meters. A little bit of a blip there. I'm sure their heart rates are just that much higher now. Not that they weren't, I'm sure, already elevated, but just that little bit of panic in the last couple strokes, a little excitement for the people in the grandstands.
You know what? That just adds to the great story when they retell it. St. Catharines Running Club unofficially winning the men's senior lightweight pair in a time of 7:15.77.